So, Nick over on Facebook had a great question. Can it project new imagery at any angle? Seems to be useful for making worlds and moons, pasting real craters onto a sphere to make a new moon. That's a hell of a good idea. Let's find out. Okay, so we're going to start with a sphere right here. And I just went up here to the new project and I clicked on sphere. And here we go. Now, by default, the key light's usually off. I like to keep it off when I'm texturing. It's easier to see things with a consistent light. And so I've got these reference images that I pulled off of various sites. I just basically copy and pasted them into the MechaPaint window. Nothing fancy. Found a bunch of them. And then what I did was, just for fun, I took this one here and I went into the pattern maker, which is over here in Paint under references. There's a thing called pattern maker, and you can generate high quality patterns with this very easily. So I did that, and we've got this one really cool pattern right here. So this I have set up, I saved it as a texture, and the distinction is that textures can be used as part of the brush, while a reference image can be used more like a decal, if that makes any sense. So since I've saved it as a texture, though, I can also go into the meshes. I can go up here to layer and go to this and go to fill with texture. Now when I do that, it's going to pinch the corner, the edges. I don't want that. Sometimes that works, but in this case it's not going to. So what I really want is fill triplanar, and it's going to look like that. And if I feel like these bumps are too big, I can go to Paint, and right here under textures, there's a setting for tiling it. If I turn that on and I set the size to something smaller, then when I do this, and if I wanted to see how big that was, I could just bring the cursor over the screen. So for example, if I wanted to find out, is this too small? Well, yes, that's too small. How about this? That's better. See? Okay, so I'm going to pick one that I kind of like the size of. That's pretty good. Go here, and we're going to go to fill triplanar. Okay, and now it should look correct from every direction. It'll have a little bit of, as you can see, it's got a little bit of these white lines here, like this. I'm just going to enlarge my brush a little bit, and I'm going to pick a different brush, actually. I'm going to pick a softer thing. This one here is good. And I'm going to go boop right there. Just a few times, just to add that texture onto it, kind of break up those lines. Actually, you know, that brush is actually doing this disservice here. We're going to go with a different one. We'll go with this one. There we go. I don't know if that's any better because it's clearly eating stuff around the edges. So we're going to undo that. That's what we're going to do. Yeah, that's it. Yeah. Okay. Now I'm going to go back to my meshes, my reference images though, and I'm going to pull some of these up and just use them as kind of like stamps. So you're asking about projecting. We can do. There are two ways you can do projection. You can do projection like at an angle like this. So if I go in here and I decide to start, oh, I have to click on this thing. Go to overlay. Okay. Now. Ta-da! Doesn't that look great? That looks great. Just don't turn it. Don't turn it. Ah, that's wrong. Oh no, that's wrong. Okay, so what you want to do instead is pick something that's kind of like an overhead kind of shot like this. That's a little better. And enlarge that. Again, we'll go to overlay. And I'm just going to I'm gonna do this on a new layer though, so that I can mess with stuff on that layer if I want, and just kind of go like that. There we go. Go over here, same thing. You know, the thing is that's pretty heavy, so we're gonna think I'm going to change some of that up a little bit. Yeah, we're going to do this. On layers, I'm going to make that one, we're going to go to adjust color, and we're going to boost that sucker's lightness up a little bit. Much better. Now, we're not doing normals yet, so that's why it looks, that's why on the sides, it's not appearing to be sunken in. We're also not doing a height map yet. That's coming very, very soon. It'll appear right underneath this, and we'll have a normal brush here pretty soon. And I'm still thinking through all the different ways I could apply this stuff, but right now it's probably going to end up as brushes, at least temporarily. All right, so this is a pretty cool one. The problem is that the shadow is not facing the direction I prefer it to be. I'm going to try to mix that up, try to match that up shadow-wise with the other one there. And overlay. We'll do a new layer. And I'll make this one real big. Perfect, right? Perfect. Okay, well, maybe not. That's okay. Adjust color. So there are some cool things we can do here. We can click on pick, and we want to go from this color, pick a kind of medium color, and then to pick this and do the same thing over here. Okay, so that changes everything for us. And then from there we can kind of tweak that and say, well, we want a little lighter. Maybe, I don't know. Less contrast, more, I don't know. There we go. Maybe we'll use the eraser to go around the edges. There you go. But I hope that answers your question about whether or not you can project things at different angles. The short answer, yes, you absolutely can. You can project anything onto anything from any direction to any direction. Hope that helps, and let me know what you think.